Man, I'm telling you right now, boy, ain't got no sense.
Life is what it is, bro. We all got a time to go.
Yeah. Coming in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shimo on BFAM 109.6. As always, I'm your boy Mac, and as always, my partner here is Nikki.
Hi.
See how I introduce her? Yeah. So tonight we will be talking about something that's probably going to piss a lot of you off, and I'm okay with that because any conversation that strokes an emotion, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, is something that needs to be discussed. The topic we'll be talking about tonight will be called domestic discipline. Okay? And some of you don't know what that is, and some of you do, but we'll talk about what it is, why some people are starting to fall in line with it, and why they feel that it is some part of a necessary part of your life because it has the backing of the Bible behind it. So, for all of you who are really stoked to hear this, and those of you who probably saying, "What the hell are you talking about?" Don't worry, we'll be right back. You're listening to Shimo on BFAM 109.6, and I can't wait to talk about this with you. Oh yeah, we need it in the house. Yeah, we need it in the house. We definitely need it in the house.
No.
Yes, we do.
No, we do not.
I'm gonna lower it. Not so high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are freaking awesome.
Sit.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Good girl.
She ain't even got to say nothing. Sometimes her facial expressions are enough to not just say shit.
It is definitely my face that needs deliverance.
Yeah. Bella, what are you doing under the table?
I told her to sit down.
And she goes under the table and starts licking my feet.
Ew.
Ew.
I'm not into foot fetish, girl.
Sit down, Bella.
I'm not into foot fetish stuff. That's not for me. It doesn't work. Okay.
I think you took it too far.
You want to
look like way. That's better.
Say hello.
All right. Hello.
Hi, Stacy.
What's up, Stacy?
I think that's what that says.
Am I saying it right? Was it Stacy?
Hey, Fern.
What's up, Fern? My girlfriend.
I don't know. I need to know.
Stacy Curry.
Girlfriend. Oh yeah, Stacy Curry. I know Stacy. Fern, my girlfriend. My girlfriend. Well, really?
You're going to be living with them. Keep messing with me.
Michael checking to see if 20 really over yet. Everybody keeps saying that they messed that up. I don't think they did. But that's just me. So that's all good.
Can you see the message?
This conversation ought to be interesting. Yes, it will be.
Oh, yes, it will be. I promise you it. Oh, girl, yes, it will, child.
Hey, got another one.
Oh my God.
What's that one saying?
It says, "Hi, it's Robin."
Oh,
I missed what?
which is, but watched it after the live show, and it was awesome. Thank you, Robin.
Coming in.
You want to see me and Mac argue? Wait until this subject right here.
That's why there should be an HOH.
A what?
Damn right.
HO what?
HOH. What, you don't know what
HOH?
You don't know what alphabet is? H is? HOH. Head of household. Okay.
You are the head of the household.
Oh man. Take it away, Mac.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Shimo. You're listening to Shimo on BFAM 109.6. Listen, we're going to talk about something that has been discussed for many, many years. Some people have incorporated it into their lifestyle, and a lot of other people don't adhere to it, don't like it, don't want to talk about it, and that is Christian domestic discipline. All right, so for those of you who don't know, the correct term for this is called wife spanking. But I'm going to give you the actual definition. Domestic discipline is the practice between two consenting life partners in which the head of the household, HOH, takes the necessary measures to achieve a healthy relationship dynamic, the necessary measures to create a healthy home environment, and the necessary measures to protect all members of the family from dangerous or detrimental outcomes by punishing the contributing and thus unwanted behaviors for the greater good of the entire family. And in addition to punishing the unwanted behaviors, the head of the household is responsible for reinforcing positive behaviors for the greater good of the entire family. The head of the household is always to conduct themselves in a safe, loving, healthy, controlled, and composed manner. So it is not unknown to me because I've heard of this before, a lot more so in very religious families, but also families that were from other countries. Okay. The practice is starting to spread a lot within the United States itself. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I'm against it. I'm not. I kind of like the idea in the sense that it goes back to the older values. And I'm not saying this in the form of, what does that say? Welcome to the show. Okay.
Hi, Michelle.
I'm not saying this in an abusive manner because there are relationships that already exist in this format, but they're strictly abusive. So no, I'm not talking about that. This form of fetish or lifestyle tends to have the backing of the Christian religion and foundation because it seems to be backed by the Bible. Now, it's funny to me that some people would take it and say, hey, why would you discipline that person which you love? And I'm going to say this. Sometimes in certain situations, it is necessary to correct an action so it doesn't happen again. And only in the sense that I'm not saying you're going out there just whipping your wife because, oh, she went out and brought the wrong damn mayonnaise. No, I'm not saying that. To me, that's stupid. Okay, you're going to spank your wife because she didn't have dinner on when you got home. Okay, I'm not saying that either. But there are situations, yes, that I think that this type of relationship would help because there are people, and I'm not going to say gender. Let's stay from gender because there are marriages that are same sex and there are marriages where the woman is the head of household. Oh, I've already told you.
I want to know, what situations do you think warrant spanking your wife? I need to know this.
Okay.
Have y'all ever seen a lion and a gazelle, a home back and run? Because it looks like she wants to eat him.
Oh, I ain't running.
Let's go.
Y'all should know right now. I don't run. She already know that. I think there are situations that can take place as far as a woman going out and shopping and using every damn bit of money to go shopping for herself, and there's food that needs to be in the house. Let me finish my thought. Okay? Because there are women who do that, who will go out and spend every damn bit of money on hair, nails, and shoes and makeup, and then talking about, oh, we ain't got nothing to eat in the house, or, oh, I can't pay the light bill. So there are situations, I feel, whether you agree with them or not, I feel that warrant that type of, and I won't say it as that, I won't say discipline, I say leadership, because there are people who need structure in relationships. Go ahead. What does it say?
Okay, so can both parties do it to each other? Exactly.
No, not in this discipline, because it states very clearly there is a head of household, whether it's a male or female. It never stated gender, that the person who was head of the household was male or female. It stated head of household, disciplined and protected and watched over the house. Oh, you saying that, you looking at me like I'm supposed to be scared because
you supposed to be scared. I just want to know, so basically what you're saying is that somebody goes out and marries an irresponsible person, somebody that probably was not marriage material to begin with, and the answer is to spank them. If they didn't learn that shit when they were teenagers, you spanking them ain't gonna teach them that shit.
Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. Because what was the one thing they taught you when you became a teacher? And I've always heard this from teachers. Children and young adults crave structure.
They're not children. You're not marrying a child.
Hold on. Not by body and not by age, but it doesn't mean by mentality. Sorry. So
no. Because first of all, by the time a child was in middle school, their personality is already formed. Okay. Whatever they were supposed to learn, they should have learned it pretty much by then. They can learn some life lessons after that, but no. No. All
right. Well, depending on the infraction,
that relationship needs to be consensual. Yes, it would definitely.
And that's exactly
what. But it is consensual.
That's exactly what I said in the beginning, and that's what I said right from the definition. Both parties must be consenting. So this person is saying, "Hey, I accept you as the leader of the household. I accept you as the one that is guiding us, protecting us, providing for us. And I accept the fact that if I make mistakes that would be detrimental or dangerous to this family, you have the right to correct me." But that doesn't necessarily always so need spanking, because it also says here, there are different, from what they're saying here, from what I read and understand what you sent me, the infractions incur different type of punishments. Now, you can have your own type of punishments. I'm not saying you necessarily have to put your hand on someone.
So what happens when the head of household fucks up?
We haven't got that. Can I move through the progression of this? Is that possible?
I agree with Nikki. Mm-hmm.
Well, you would. Who is that who agrees with you?
Stacy.
Well, Stacy, I figured you would. I figured you would. I know Stacy. And what did Fern say?
I just have a feeling that this wouldn't work. Perhaps I don't fully understand. We're gonna let him keep explaining. Please explain.
Okay.
Please keep going.
Depending on the different type of infractions, the person can use different tools that would best apply. Apparently, in this situation, on the one that they're discussing here in this book that we were reading and the information she sent me, the wooden spoon is the least severe of the tools that they would use. For the worst infractions, like texting while driving, because as the wife admits that she could kill herself, or moving money between two accounts without permission, she's hit with a hairbrush paddle, which I have one of those, but that's for something different, or a leather strap. Now, that I don't condone, because I got hit with leather straps growing up. Leather straps can cut into your damn skin. And I understand he's saying this in his opinion, or their opinion, or her opinion, is a bad situation. Okay? Now, whether you agree with it or not, that's your opinion. You have that right.
Mm-hmm.
You have that right. Just like I don't agree with some of the stuff that we talk about. So
basically, it's Christian BDSM. And they're in a DS relationship.
I do. Shut up. Stop it.
Sorry, our dog is right there.
Shut it out and give you a kennel. Now.
Kennel, mama.
Nobody's at the door. Okay? Kennel.
So you want the head of household to have the ability to punish adults, right?
And that's a consenting adult who's agreed to that.
So it's Christian BDSM.
I knew you were going to turn that into.
And it's a dom submissive relationship.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like, watch, she's going to turn this into.
Because that's the only way this becomes consensual.
All right, listen. Some believe that Christian domestic discipline, CDD, is used as a means to justify the fulfillment of a sexual fetish. Okay. Now, I'm going to say that according to Paul Byerly, who is with his wife, run the Marriage Bed, a site dedicated to sexuality and religion, CDC is a distortion of what God intended, and believes that the woman, particularly in the Christian church, tend to be sexually repressed. Now, domestic discipline, he explains, can be a way around that, a chance to explore sexual desires while nominally acting in the name of Jesus. So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I never once said that it could not. I knew you were going to say that.
So now we're kinky in the name of Jesus.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. In Europe, especially England, okay.
He has lost his mind.
I haven't lost my mind. I'm sitting here reading information.
How this works in a BDSM relationship where the sub wants to be punished, but how is this supposed to
work in a regular marriage?
I don't get it.
Okay, so think about this. You were saying a Christian BDSM fetish relationship. Back in the early days, we watched so many shows. We read a lot of books.
We do.
Okay.
And one of your favorite I take him whenever we go somewhere. I take him to torture chambers because he has a thing for medieval torture.
Okay,
chambers.
but wasn't fetish and sexuality and torture all within the same realm back in Europe and England?
No, not
and
necessarily.
Yes, it was. They used it.
Some people got sexual gratification from it, but
right.
You can be kinky without being.
Right, I understand that. But those who became, some people who were tortured only came to be able to release in that form or manner. Now, am I wrong or right?
Because still trying to see how this works in a relationship.
Okay, but back in the day, it was this way. A woman was struck or put in her place within that time period, and for a long time periods, all the way leading up. Tell me I'm wrong.
You know what my father said, my grandfather said to him when he married my mother, that if you decide that she needs to be spanked, bring her back to me because I done raised her. And if you don't think I raised her right, then you don't deserve her.
Heard that many, many times too.
BDSM can be quite serious for folks that feel they really crave, need it in their lives.
All right. We're never going to agree on this topic.
No, we're not, because I don't see a reason we got to attach. Basically, it's BDSM under the guise of the Bible's permission.
But it was always BDSM under the guise permission from the first days. When they were going out and killing people, when they were going out and raping people, when they were going out and wiping out whole races, it was always under the guise of God. I never said.
Now that we're smarter than this.
I'm not saying that it is legit. What I'm saying to you
says, hey, Christians have their cross and we have ours.
That's my point. Now, Thomas,
I believe in the cross.
I do. I believe in the cross. Okay. So, just for those who want to ask tonight, here's the shirt I'm wearing. Who cares? Okay. But if a male and female, or male and male, or female and female,
BDSM is consent. It is. If it's not consensual, it's abuse. Yeah, but these people are.
But they are consenting. That's the first statement I made.
Yeah, this is part consensual. Of like their marriage arrangement.
This is their lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying that it works for everybody. For me and Nikki, it probably won't work. But when we come back, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. You're listening to the Shimo on BFAM 109. But I'm going to say this before we cock out. It's needed in this household. That's right, sister. Yeah, come on. We're
gonna have some discipline.
Okay, right? Yeah. Get that ass tapped tonight. Go ahead.
It better be in a good way.
Oh, that's okay. In the end, both of us gonna have a nut.
It better be.
I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. We both gonna get there. Now they say how we get there don't really matter as long as you get there. All right. What's wrong, DC?
Run, Nikki. No, he better run.
Yeah. What's wrong, DC?
Nothing's wrong with me, pal. I'm all right. For those people that see their posts going up and it's coming underneath Nightlife's 24/7, when you sign in, give Facebook permission to put your name up. That way we can tag you. We don't have to see the other stuff. Appreciate y'all coming in. Mac, you'll be all right?
He gonna be all right.
Okay,
good. I am so good.
I love him. He gonna be all right.
She think when she say that I should be worried. She sit there and rub your face all nice and but I love him.
I do.
Okay.
You try some shit like that though.
Okay. Hey.
If you get up one morning, I'm fixing grits.
I eat your grits, but I fix grits more than you do. You fix pancakes.
Coming in.
I'm the one that fix grits. Hey everyone, welcome back to Shimo. You're listening to Shimo on BFAM 109.6. I'm your boy Mac. This is my partner Nikki, and we're talking about Christian domestic discipline. Okay, I knew for a fact that when because you're the one who first brought up this topic.
I sent it to you because there was an article I read about a couple who said that domestic discipline saved their marriage.
Right.
They basically entered, I guess the wife was doing some dumb shit. And they entered into this agreement that if she did that, then her punishment would be, spankings or whatever the case may be. And according to them, it saved their marriage. And whatever.
Okay. I get it. You don't agree with it. But some people, it is necessary. And maybe it's not necessary to the point of putting your hands on that person. But they can do other things to discipline or correct them. It's the same principle. Hold on. It's the same principle as almost when you enter into the military.
Okay.
You're giving us permission to guide you, train you, teach you, protect you.
Here's my problem with it. And keep in mind, I'm not Christian. Okay. My problem with it is this. I have no problem with BDSM. Bring it on. What I do have a problem with is the fact that so many times the Bible gets used to justify abuse.
I understand
so
that.
We're doing this and they agree to it because it's the Christian thing to do, not because they necessarily actually want it or crave it.
But how do you know that?
Need it, but because it's the Christian thing to do. Think about how many times we hear people say, well, it's what God would want, as if they have no say in the subject because this is what God would want.
Okay, I'm going to answer.
That bothers me. If they just said, okay, we decided to do this, but the fact that they're using the Bible as a justification for it,
but both people have to agree to the fact that they're using it as
are they agreeing to it because it's something they believe in? Are they agreeing to it because they think it's their ticket to heaven?
I don't. That I can't speak on.
So that's my problem.
I can't speak on.
Remove the Bible, y'all do y'all. But put the Bible in it, and then you get that thin line between consent and forced consent via religion, and that shit bothers me.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yes, 100%. See, that's the part.
But I'm not disagreeing with you on that aspect of it. But then you also have to do. Another woman in the same article said that abuse is all about intent. He never punishes me when he's angry, she says of her partner. He doesn't yell. The worst thing I can do is disappoint him or her, because I'm going to make sure this is same sex too. And I do that when I act on one of my character defects. And what about his defects? Now we get to you. Okay, when you made the question, what about his defects? He's not perfect, but it's not my role to point that out. He self-corrects, and what he does to get out of their CDC lifestyle, aside from her obedience, the satisfaction and enjoyment of seeing her, the person he owns, his property, become the thing God wants her to be. It might sound weird, but that works for them. There again, it is something that person wants and craves.
Okay, if we took God out of it, because
you read better than I do.
That's a caveman day relationship. Here's my thing. Go back. What was that?
Right here. Which one?
The person he owns, his property.
Well,
the wife being property. So they're married. So now she's property, the kids and all that kind of stuff. But it becomes the thing God wants her to be. So if you take God out of it, she's knock his ass out.
Hold on. Let's stop one. Now.
Or do they feel guilty into consenting to please the family, church, God, or get to
God,
heaven?
Church, and family. God, church, family.
Thing, right.
All right. God, church, and family.
If you take God out of that,
I'm dissect what
still in agreement.
Okay. How do I know? Because
exactly.
You don't know either.
How does she know?
Okay. Well, let's dissect this. First, I agree with one thing she said. No person is the property of someone else. I don't give a fuck what part of the world you live in.
But the Bible.
Hold on. So let me clarify. I do not agree with that part of it. I'm reading you what was stated, but you know how I feel about someone owning someone else. You know my views on that. You know what I think about it. I have a program that works against child slavery and prostitution. And we fight constantly to make sure that no one is being abused in that aspect. I don't give a damn male, female, non-binary, pansexual, bisexual. I don't give a shit. My goal is to make sure you live a free life. Now, that part I agree with you on. But when it says here, okay, the satisfaction and enjoyment of seeing her, the person, now he owns his property. Don't agree with that. They become the thing. I'm sorry, become the thing that God wants her to be. That hold on. That is her belief or his belief. So how am I going to change their thought pattern if that's what they believe is necessary of them to fulfill their religious faith? You can't change that. If that's what they believe, that's what they were brought up to and taught in their culture, or they then decided somewhere along the line, hey, I'm a badass person. Let me start going and I need to find God, whether it's Buddha, God, whatever, Zen, and it brings them to that point.
So
it makes them whole.
Are we going to bring back flogging as penance? Are we going to? I'm just asking.
I think personally, and this is my thoughts, don't make me good, bad, or indifferent. I don't think it ever left. In some cultures, it has never left. You can still get your ass caned for certain things in certain countries. If you do certain things, you can be stoned if you cheat. You can be whipped with a cane for this. You can lose your hand or fingers for stealing. The practice is always still there, and it's based on their religious beliefs.
But the Bible is twisted so many different ways to make things.
No, that's not true. No.
Okay.
Man has twisted the Bible to their interpretation, and it keeps being twisted.
We have is twisted.
Go right there.
Oh my God, y'all, I'm gonna need glasses tonight. I gave a partner consent to train me to make my bed. He punished me every time I didn't make the bed. And the next thing I knew, the bed was getting made, even when I stayed with my mom, and I automatically made the guest bed. She was so surprised, and I told her my partner got me into the habit. My very Christian woman was like, well, tell him to keep doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah,
the word was very Christian.
Okay, but what I'm trying to express to you, and I see your point because you're an independent woman. I get it. You're a headstrong. You're a headstrong, independent woman. But if this is their belief, who are we to change what they believe in the way they were brought up? It works for them. It gives them stability, security, and a form of religion, belief, religional faith or belief that makes them grow stronger and closer to each other.
That's funny. I keep saying the same thing about why we go to war with people who believe they're going straight to heaven if they take out other people.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I've been there.
We keep doing
I've been there, done that. You can't argue. I'm sorry.
Like you can't win.
You can't win that fight with me on that.
You can't, but I'm saying you can't win.
You got one more there.
Or do they feel guilted into consenting to please the family church? Right. Yeah. Like,
okay, every one of y'all are making valid points, but you keep forgetting what was said in the very beginning. I consent.
They consent, but are they consenting because God is part of it?
I consent to this form of lifestyle. I'll go back up and read it to you.
But our question
doesn't matter, because now you're trying to
religion itself has been twisted by man to serve his belief.
Right. No, I will not argue with you. I agree with you 150%. It doesn't matter if that's the thought process behind it. What matters is they have this belief of consent, and this is what I wish to follow.
Every day we stray further from God. God is sipping on a martini saying, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Y'all wrong, because God only drinks scotch.
Whatever.
So you wrong it down right there in the first place.
Drinking scotch, whatever.
God only drinks scotch.
Jesus and Johnny Walker are having a conversation right now over this mess right here.
You know, and I'm a veer off for a second. I heard a beautiful historical note last night.
Beliefs
Johnny
are
Walker,
fine as long as they don't infringe on the freedom or happiness of others.
Johnny Walker was not the first one who made whiskey and scotch. It was made by a black man. His initial
American
black male
version of bourbon.
Right. It was
Scotch.
It was a black slave who made it. His initials were NG. I forgot what his name was, but I heard it last night. His son taught Johnny Walker and them how to make whiskey. I know that veered off a little bit.
We're talking about Scotch,
right?
Not American, or you're talking about American Scotch, not Scotch.
Right. But a slave was the one who made it, but then it was taught to a white guy, and then he's the one who became famous for it. So it was just, I thought that was just a cute little tidbit of information I wanted to throw out there. What does that say?
I thought God drank wine.
No,
he just gives us the wine.
No. God's son transformed water to wine. God drinks scotch.
This is an interesting topic because I mostly agree with Nikki, but Mac is making some valid points. I mean, it has validation. My thing, as long as it's not being done only because God wants me to do it.
But
I know some people need rules. Some people need rules.
Right.
Like,
no, but
we have laws because some people won't stop at the stop sign. I get it.
But what if that person says, I need for this to be part of who I am? What if I'm doing it because of God? Okay. So, I mean, what if that's what they need to fulfill that hole that they have or belief that they have? You know, hey guys, I need you to come back. You're listening to Shimo on BFAM 109.6. I'm your boy Mac. This is my partner Nikki, and we'll continue this conversation in a minute. But when we do come back, we're going to find out, how do you cross the line between domestic violence and domestic discipline? What do you think, DC?
I think somebody's going to be calling y'all, put your ass on TV. Y'all are you guys are some of the best arguers I've ever seen. Because neither one of you is mad. That's the best part.
We don't take it personal.
Nah, you guys are so far apart from each other on this subject. You're not even close, Mac, to what she's saying.
I know.
And she's not even close to what you're saying. But yet you're sitting so close to each other, it makes it, it's a cool irony contrast.
Yeah, we don't take it personal. We really don't. I mean, her view is her view, and my view is my view.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, this is the part you're going to love right here.
It gets better?
Yeah, because now they're talking about the contrast between this lifestyle and domestic violence.
They're probably going to make the same. I'm willing to put money on they're going to make the same arguments that people use for spanking their children.
What do you mean by that?
Because people say, oh, well, you spank, like, okay, so we're taught, okay, if you're going to spank your kids, you're not spanking them to discipline them. You're spanking them to get their damn attention when they do something really, really dumb.
Coming in.
Okay. Hello, everyone. And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shimo on BFAM 109.6. When we left out, we were discussing Christian discipline, domestic discipline. Now, I know a lot of you guys, male and female, some of you agree, some of you don't agree, some of you feel indifferent about it, and that's fine. Those are your thoughts. That's how you feel. I like some points of this lifestyle. Other points I don't.
Thomas and I wish we were there to talk about this in person.
Okay. I wish you were here too, Thomas. I ain't gonna sit and lie. But I'm gonna say this. Whatever it is you need to make your marriage or your relationship work, far be it for me to tell you how to make that happen. Sure. Or to disagree with it.
Whatever works.
Okay. For y'all. Whatever works for y'all. If it's good for you, hey, more power to you. I may not like it. I may not agree with it. Now, I don't agree with every point in this topic. Nikki agrees with no points of this topic.
I agree that this is okay as long as they're not doing it, but the God factor isn't the deciding factor.
I understand, and I agree with you. But what if they are religious fanatics at this point and it's necessary? That's how they feel.
I believe that's when we get to a religious extremism. and
some
abuse.
But some marriages are considered religious extremists.
So are we also okay? I mean, never mind.
Okay,
because this takes us down a long ass rabbit hole. Because then you get into child brides and all this other kind of shit where religious says it's okay. So where do we draw the fucking line between what the Bible supposedly says is okay and what people are doing? At what point do we say, oh well, that's their religion, mind your own fucking business? Bullshit.
No, I don't know. I mean, hey, at what point does domestic discipline cross the line and become abuse? At what point does the husband or the wife who's in charge of the household go from exercising their power to abusing it? At what point do that person realize that their submission to their significant other isn't something they should be spanked into doing? Which comes to your point. At what point are they honest with themselves and admit that this isn't in harmony with God's word? And, you know, very well, mine gives the following comparison between domestic discipline and abuse. I'm going to read some of these off to you and have them as talking points. Okay. And I'll state each one as it is. Signs of abuse: may use physical violence as a control tactic. Comparison to domestic violence: uses spanking to maintain order and control. Signs of abuse: isolates partner from family and friends. CDD: sets rules about wife's interactions with others.
Tomato.
Right. Signs of abuse: displays a power imbalance in the relationship. Okay. CDD: provides all the power to the HOH. All right. Signs of abuse: makes threats of physical violence to maintain control. CDD: threatens spanking if rules are not followed.
Potato.
Signs of abuse: believes that the abuse is justified or that the victim caused it. CDD: believes spanking is appropriate for mistakes or rule breaking. Another sign of abuse: engages in financial control. CDD: has control over all of the finances. Hold on, one last one. Signs of abuse: denies abuse or violence happened and argues it was not as bad as the victim claims. CDD: denies that this lifestyle is abusive and argues that it is consensual and biblical.
Love you, Mac. But
what's that? This is Robin. Yeah, Robin from Canada.
But Team Nikki.
Robin, I love you too, sweetheart.
All that was verbal semantics.
Right. And I'm not, how can I say this? I'm not taking a stance on this. I'm not. But I thought when Nikki sent me this information, it was a topic that needed to be discussed because so many marriages fall within this group.
Okay. So
and so many relationships. And those relationships that I have counseled were not CDD. Those relationships were hardcore, strictly abuse.
And that's what I was going to say. Even within the BDSM community, there is abuse.
No argument.
We all know
no argument.
Abusive doms.
Okay, we know power hungry doms.
We do. And so there is, even in that lifestyle, a very thin line between a consensual relationship and it teetering over into abuse, and the submissive person not even realizing that that is what is occurring because of the mindset. This is way too much power on one side of the fantasy relationship for it to work.
I think you're right in that comment that she just read. But again, I'm going to state some people need and crave structure within their relationship and their marriage.
But what happens when there's no checks and balances, when the person dishing this out becomes abusive or that power goes to their head?
Okay, sweetheart.
And that person is not, for lack of a better way of saying it, strong enough to get out of it and has been isolated because of these rules. from anyone who
I get what you're
possibly
saying,
even
but
help
you're
them.
talking about a hardcore, serious, and we both have done this. We have both counseled people who are in those type of abusive relationships. We're not talking about someone who says, I have a guideline. Whether it's the Bible, which most of us don't consent to or believe in, they still have a guideline, and their partner has consented to that guideline. Okay? I get what you're saying, and you're not wrong. Okay? Because we both dealt with people who have been in those type of situations, and they can't walk away.
I was raised with a strictly, I think that says Mennonite. I can't see. Yep, Mennonite family, and I appreciate this topic.
Always, Robin. Always. And you should know I watch your damn show every day. You may not see me respond on it, but I watch the show.
Robin was on with us, because that's a good point. What happens when you're from these religious sects that are far more strict and traditional? Like, what happens if you're a Mennonite or a Mormon or Quaker?
Because they are so much more stricter in everything.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we don't honestly know the ins and outs of those communities, because they are so close knit, and they don't let outsiders in.
Right, they don't.
So those people who leave those communities or leave, leave and don't return, or branch out, or whatever the case may be, escape in some cases. Like, there's so.
I'm gonna continue with this, because I love what this article says. I don't agree with it, but I love what it says. Even though there doesn't seem to be too much difference between abuse and domestic discipline, there are those who believe that women should be grateful when they are spanked. Hold on, because I know, sister, I already saw it. I ain't even look in your direction. Didn't even have to look in your direction. I felt the energy come off your skin. Yeah. Okay. Breathe, girl. Focus. Breathe. Let it out. Slow. Yeah, that's it. Now blow it out. Yeah. Okay. You good? Okay. Firstly, she should thank him simply because he has done something for her, and it is appropriate that she show her gratitude. After all, she is the primary beneficiary of the spanking, meaning that she is the main person to benefit from spanking. She will learn better behavior. She will become a better person as a result of it. So it makes sense that she would be grateful for it. Yeah, I would love to talk to you, because I can't really talk to you.
With discipline, there are stated rules and punishments. With abuse, there are punishments for no reason or non-agreed upon arrangements. But
and just
those have been tipped.
Right, like Robin, I can't take an incoming call, but if there's a way,
Robin, I'm gonna send you my number on Messenger.
Yeah. That way you can contact us, maybe through DC. All right, let's see. Robin, go ahead. I'm gonna see if we can do it.
It won't. It's not gonna do it. It's gonna cut off your thing.
It's gonna cut it off.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's not gonna do it. All right, Rob. Yeah, it's not gonna let us do it. But
Mac,
okay.
Mac, don't do anything. I'm gonna invite her to the chat. Just keep going.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna keep moving on. Secondly, she should thank him because she should practice politeness in her relationship with him. It may be that her disrespect for him is the original cause of her spanking. So it is all the more reason why she should behave politely to him afterwards. So in other words, I whooped your ass, and you should be grateful that I did this and show me appreciation, because I corrected a bad defect within you, which may cause harm or detriment to this family. Okay, thirdly.
Give me patience, because if you give me strength, I might just kill somebody.
Thirdly, she should thank him for her spanking, because it is a demonstration that she has learned her lesson. Go ahead, speak your mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Daddy.
It's bubbling up. Go ahead. Nah, go ahead.
Did we get Robin on?
Hi.
What's up, girl?
How's it going?
Great.
Girl.
I love the new haircut. Love the haircut.
Thank you. I shaved today, actually.
Did you put pants on?
I'm growing it out.
Robin, you grew up with this type of, somewhat of this type of religious growth and so how did, because you're different, you're so laid back and let go. When I first met you, your whole vibe was nothing really bothers me. I deal with it. Yeah, I deal with it as it comes, and I'm cool.
Yeah, basically.
But you had a strict upbringing as a Mennonite.
Yeah. My mom in particular and my sister are very, very religious, spiritual, whatever you want to call it. They're very strict Mennonites. And that, I feel like, you know, I was raised with that, and I questioned it at a very young age, like very, very strict biblical stuff. Like my mom still to this day believes that women should be submissive to men. Like they don't believe women should be in charge. The man is the head of the household, that kind of thing. And like it was a huge deal in their church when a woman became a pastor, like, oh, a woman is a pastor, you know, so that kind of thing. And my mom was in 2 very abusive marriages as I was growing up. And like she still believes that. She still believes the man is the head of the household, but she wants it in a healthier way now. And it was just, yeah. So it's been very
so was the discipline as strict as this? As far as the spanking, controlling who you can see, in charge of the finances, let you know when and where you can go. I mean, correcting that person if they didn't have the dinner ready at the time, correcting that person if the laundry was done wrong.
I mean, like serious trigger warning for other folks. You know, I was beaten once for not making dinner correctly. Like that kind of thing. So if it's like a BDSM relationship, I think as long as everyone is acknowledgeable, like and is knowledgeable and consenting, I think that is more of a kink thing and less of a Christian thing, honestly, because at least in my experience growing up, the religion thing, it wasn't a consensual thing. It was just, this is the way it is. The Bible says the man is in charge. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Even at my sister's wedding. Oh man, you would not
understand. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. And she's speaking she came into a household. She was born and raised into a household. But I'm talking about those who say, I accept this way of life and this is what I need and want from this type of marriage and relationship. She grew up in that household and had no choice. But I'm saying someone who enters into that, as it's stated, the very first thing I said, they both enter into this consensually.
Okay, growing up here in the Bible Belt, I can't tell you how many people do things because this is what God would want. The whole I'm supposed to suffer because this is what God wants for me to get to heaven is a thing.
Totally.
Like
legit.
You must suffer.
The place I grew up in, the city I grew up in, is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the most churches per capita.
Wow. All right, so let me hit you with this.
I get that. And so I'm saying, like, if you agree to it, like I gave the example of my partner training me to make the bed, like we discussed that. It was consensual. And it was something I was aware of. If you're in a household situation, and I feel like there's a lot of gray area, figure me, how many shades of gray are there? But
in this case, a lot.
So,
because
right.
The question really is, how do you know whether that is a consensual, like that they aren't being coerced into that? That's where my major question comes in. Are they being coerced into that relationship? Is that how they were raised? Because trust me, I'm one of the few, like a lot of people in the town that I grew up in that were raised with that kind of dynamic still follow that today because that's what they were taught. Whereas I'm just like a total rebel that's like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I'm gonna do my own thing. But a lot of
I think you were a rebel from the day you were born, Robin.
They're taught to believe that. So that's what they believe. And how consensual is that? If they consent to it, I am so fucking down. But like, where's that line drawn?
If you're doing it not to go to hell, that is not consensual. I don't care if you agreed to it or not.
Fear, if you're doing it out of fear, that's not consensual. That's coercion.
Right. If you agreed to it out of the fear of hellfire and damnation because you offended God and didn't listen to your head of household husband or wife or whatever the case may be, that is not consent. I don't care if they consented to it or not.
All right, so let me get back
it's
to
no
this.
different than putting a gun in their head.
All right, let me get back to this. It says domestic discipline is not seen as abuse, but as expression of a partner's love for their partner. One partner said, when my partner whips me, I feel the love, their strength, and their caring. Another partner was punished whenever they put their health or safety at risk. My partner, well, they say my husband says he loves me too much to lose me, and that is his job to protect me from things, even if it has to protect me from myself. I'm not, see, she thinks.
My question is, why did she go there in the first place? What was he doing that made her want to hurt herself?
Bam.
Okay, agreed.
He might be the damn problem. I'm just saying.
That may be true. That may be true.
Mm.
I
Honey,
knew,
hurt him, not yourself.
I knew that
homicide, never suicide.
I knew when this topic was brought up, I knew from the get-go when I mentioned it, it was going to be a hot topic for men and for women, for same-sex partners. I knew this, but I think people need to understand that this way of living is necessary for some people because they know no other way, and it is necessary for them to have a foothold within the faith of their religion. I'm not saying I agree with that. You know how I feel about the Bible. You know my belief growing up in church with my grandmother. But I also believe there are some things in the Bible that are just a little bit over the top. And not against the religion. Here it is. I'm a pastor and I'm with a witch. So it is what it is. But I cannot sit here and say that my way of thinking on this topic makes it wrong. I cannot. There's nothing in me that can sit up and say everything that I know and believe says this is wrong. If it works for that couple or that family and they do no harm in that person in a physical, mental,
are they
or spiritual,
seriously not doing harm?
In their eyes, if they feel they are doing the harm, how are we to judge them for that? When did we become the people that say
on the same note,
become the ones
then
who say
when they have
I know what's better for you?
If they're doing the whole child bride thing and they're saying this is what we believe religiously,
well, listen,
then and the mom and the dad agrees or whatever, then at what point do we mind our own damn business?
I agree with you in the child stuff. I agree with you in that.
So but after a certain age, go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
No, what I'm saying is I have no higher power or justification to tell them that the way they live is wrong.
Really? That's what our whole society is on. There's laws everywhere that says you're fucking wrong and therefore we're going to lock you up. Apparently that's the way our society is based.
No, that's what we have put ourselves as the world.
That's why in domestic violence cases, the state takes up the case.
I understand what you're saying, but if I go to another country and this is the way they live, who am I to tell them that the way they live and been brought up is wrong?
I don't know. Christians have been doing that for decades, for like centuries now. No, millennia.
They've been doing it.
Just saying.
They've been doing it, but it doesn't make it right.
Thank you. They're doing it, but this does not make it right.
I just said that, but I keep saying that, and you think that I'm agreeing with it, but I'm not. What I'm saying is, if this helps them hold themselves grounded and stable, then you do you. You do you. Don't worry, Robin. This is our normal every day.
Go to therapy, people.
Robin, you see Robin's face. Robin's face is like, oh hell no. This is us normal. This is a normal. This is us from the time we get up to the time we go to bed.
Slowly back away, you know.
Lord.
All I'm gonna say is this.
Farther north, I'm in Canada. I don't know how much more I can back away, you know.
Yeah, you're good. You're at a good distance. Listen, I think CDD, Christian Domestic Discipline, walks a very thin line. This is my belief. Walks a very thin line with domestic violence. I really do. I agree with you if there are no checks and balances and this person has so much power that he can, or they, or she, or him can go overboard with it. But if both people consent to this lifestyle and it makes them feel good, it gives them stability and it strengthens their bond between them, you do what you need to do to make you happy.
When we can trust pastors in the pulpit,
I'm not talking about pastors.
Can trust priests,
I'm not talking about pastors.
Then I will go along with this. But in my opinion, if you put God at the head of it and someone believes that they are offending God by offending this person, you have set up a situation for abuse. I'm sorry.
Now, everybody, tonight's gift.
Okay.
All right, tonight's gift, guys, that we're giving away is this cup. It's a drinking cup, but in the cup, it has a small container for you to carry your pills or powder to mix in your drink. You also have lubes and
yes, Robin.
For your shot.
For your shot.
Oh yeah, for your shot.
Yes.
There's also different highlighters. It has a flashlight in it. Oh man, this one right here, and it also has a waterproof carrier for your ID in case you go swimming. So.
Or other water sports.
Yeah, or other water sports.
Remember, stay hydrated, everyone. Always stay hydrated.
So the question I'm going to ask you for this gift tonight, the question that I'm going to ask is this. When the show first came on and I expressed the topic, okay, everyone tell me the look that Nikki gave to me. The first person who can say that wins tonight's gift. Tell me what the interpretation that DC said the look was on her face.
We're using my facial expressions as a prize.
That's right. DC said what the interpretation of her face was. So tell me the first person who can say that, you win the prize, and we'll be mailing it to you. See?
Right. I love you both so much.
Love you. Talk to you. Bye, Robin.
It's like kudos for putting on such a heated topic, But I love you guys. I gotta put the kids to bed, and then I'm gonna spend the rest relaxing in the fucking hot tub. So you have a wonderful night.
Take care. You beautiful. Bye. All right, so the first person who can tell me the interpretation that DC said about Nikki's face when the topic came out, you win the prize. How did I know? How did I even know? How did I even know? Fern. I knew. 5 for 5.
Y'all got to be quicker than that.
Yeah, y'all got to be serious, man, because Fern is killing y'all, man. If someone else comments.
You already gave them the answer. No, you get it.
Yeah, you can't do it. You already gave the answer, Fern. You already gave the answer. You're the winner. Yeah, you're the winner. Fern is now 5 for 5. She ain't missed one yet.
I just want to point out that Fern. I just want to point out that Fern is also listening to the producer.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true. That is true. Hey guys, I want to thank you for listening to the show. Again, I'm going to put it out there. We are always looking for small business sponsors and advertisers. You can always contact us by DMing us, calling the number that's rolling across the screen. You can also contact us through Facebook and Instagram. Hell, you can even contact me through YouTube and Twitter. We would love to promote your business. We would love to advertise your business, and we are always looking for that. I want to thank my sponsors tonight, which are Nightlife 24/7 Podcast. If it's on your mind, we're talking about it. And the Catalyst Solution Center, we're changing our community one person at a time. Next week, I have a big surprise for you guys. We are actually going to be shooting the show from the dungeon, Shimo. And we're going to next Monday, we'll be walking you through the dungeon so you can see it. We're going to be doing demonstrations so you can see what the equipment is all about. So I want you to keep your panties dry until the end, because I know when the show comes on next week, you're going to be wet and willy. We ain't even at the water park. Hi, you're listening to Shimo on BFAM 109. I thank you for always tuning in, and we will see you next week. As always, don't worry, I'll be here next week. Nikki ain't gonna kill me.
Night, everyone.
Bye. You might be going to get at the ship the firm.
We're not gonna do it.
I knew we were going to go to talk. I think it might be necessary. And some points of this topic is necessary in this hour.